Hello, this is Samuel Waddell here. This is my brother Daniel videotaping. We are between Hope, Arkansas and Emmett, Arkansas, right on the interstate, and we have 15 acres here that we are starting to develop, and we're going to videotape the progress as we go. This is the back part of our 15 acres here. If you zoom in behind this house here, this is kind of the corner or the edge of our property here. We estimate that between here and the interstate is about 400 or 500 yards. And this back part is basically forested. It's kind of just a wild forest full of gum trees, some pines, a few hardwood trees. Right here we have a bare spot, and we'll probably start planting fruit trees here. Kind of the main goal of what we're going to do here is start a food forest. And we're going to start by planting fruit trees, nut trees, tall trees, and then we're planting dwarf trees amongst them, and then fruit-bearing bushes. We also have several Indian mounds on this property. You can see right here in the middle is an Indian mound that's been here for years and years and years. There's several in the forested area too, and several up front that we might see here in just a moment. We're going to show you a few of the little resources we have on this property that we're working with.
Mention this wet ground.
The soil that the ground that we're walking over right now is actually quite wet. It stays pretty moist. In fact, there's a lot of crawdads. You'll see a lot of crawdads holes and hills in here because it's so moist. They get in here and thrive quite well. Right here on the edge of this overgrown patch, we have a nice pond that we're working with. And so it'll be a good water source if we need to use it when it gets hot for fruit trees and things of that nature. And we're just going to kind of walk up this pathway that we have here and show you a few other of the important areas that we're working with.
Alright, when you talk back over your shoulder.
This is just kind of a small overgrown area next to the pond. Here we have a rather large pathway. This pathway leads to the edge of the property, a fence over here, and there's some more pathways that go down the edge of the property on the far side. So there's quite a little bunch of overgrown area in here too, right next to the pond. We're going to walk through this main path that we have cut kind of through most of the middle of the property.
Talk over your shoulder.
This area right here to the left is a pretty overgrown area, but it's probably one of the most high spots on the property, and might be a good spot for a home site or something like that in the future. I don't know if you can see this very well, but to our right here along this path is another overgrown area, but it's pretty high, and there's actually another Indian mound over here to the left that we'll see here in just a moment. But this is another overgrown patch. Might be a good home site as well for the future, and we'll work on that. Again, to the left you can still see some of the overgrown area. And here to the right we have a little clearing. This clearing right here, you'll see a small upward grade, and then it's flat. It's the same thing on this other side here. This is another Indian mound that's been here for years and years, and that's probably a good good garden site. There's been hundreds of arrowheads found on this property, and so that's another interesting feature. We just continue walking along this path that goes through the middle of the property. I want you to pan to the right here, and everything that you see to the right, keep walking down the path, everything you see to the right here is how this is overgrown. We're going to be showing you as we go along how we're clearing this area. Now we're nearing the front part of the property.
Talk about that.
We have a nice barn here over here to the left of the path. We got a storage barn, work barn. Also have a nice little flat area here that might be used in the future for greenhouses.
And we think it's an Indian mound.
For growing plants, and we also think this is another Indian mound. If you see the slight raise and then the flat features of it, I think you'll make it out pretty easily. Again, over here, you see how this has grown up?
100 yards.
We've marked a few trees showing the ones we want to keep for now. And we've started clearing this area. And we're going to show you a little bit of what we've done in just about 3 hours of work. You can see here some of the trees we've cut down. You can see all the stumps in here. If you pan over here, this is the very front of the property on the road. You see a lot of the stumps that we've cut down. This is just a pile of brush with the side branches. And we're going to show you what our plan is eventually to do. This is just a little side path in the front of the property here by the road.
Right.
And our plan...
Mention how overgrown this was.
Our plan is to is to clear this area and make it look something like this. Now I want you to zoom in over here a little bit and see just how overgrown this area is right here. This area right here was exactly like that less than 3 hours ago. So you can see quite a bit of the progress that we're making. How we're taking down some of the trees. We're leaving some of the bigger trees, working on them later. We're going to take down the small ones, get the area clean, get it ready for planting, food forest production. We're just going to end by just walking through the path and seeing a few more open areas that we've already made.
Mention how overgrown this was.
Less than 3 hours ago, this stuff here is almost as overgrown as the stuff you see to the right. See a lot of tree stumps we're taking out. See a lot that we've run over and cleared. It was looking like this, now it looks like this. You can see the road. This is the very front part of the property, fence line. We also have a fence to the very corner up here. It goes all the way down to the interstate. We'll walk to the corner. We'll think that's a good place to end this video. Just kind of give you a corner view.
Mention how we're going to cultivate it with chickens.
Alright. This is a corner view of the fence line, and the front fence line and the side fence line. This is basically the south fence line and the west fence line, southwest corner of the property. And this fence line runs all the way down. Now what we plan on doing is bringing some chickens in here to clear the area. The area that we have cleared over there, we plan on clearing this whole area like this.